Lisa Bishop ousted Debbie McMullen 234 to 204. There's the beautiful trophy they're bowling for this evening, and Lisa Bishop will challenge Wendy Macpherson Papanos for the inaugural Choo Choo Classic right after this. Classic. Lisa Bishop will start this match. Wendy Macpherson Papanos sits down and says, Lisa, you go for it first, and you finish last.
Well, the last time that I believe Wendy had to throw the last frame for a title, she opened, and it lost her the match. So maybe she wants to turn the tides the other way this time.
Always better to put the pressure on the other player unless you have a great shot on one lane that you particularly want to finish on. 10 pin in the first shot for Lisa Bishop. Lisa's goals this year are just to be more consistent at making cuts and be a more versatile player.
That's why she worked so hard on her game, so she could get a few more options in her delivery, in her repertoire there.
First look at Wendy Macpherson, 31 years old. She's been a pro for 13 years from Henderson, Nevada. Our 96 and 97 Player of the Year. Very pleased to be on this show. Big opening shot. Here's a look at our president, John Falzone, the president of the PWBA, along with Carol Giannotti Block. She's receiving her 1998 Player of the Year award. Congratulations, Carol.
What a year Carol had last year. Would love to repeat this year, and we did see her on last week's telecast, so she had a good start.
And this lady's had a good start to this match, striking the first, steps up in the second frame. She defeated Lisa Bishop earlier this week during match play. There's that light hit. You know, it hasn't fallen a lot tonight. Did it fall during the week?
No, it didn't, Jan. At least for most of the players, it didn't. Going to see the ball sliding by the headpin just a little bit. Headpin just doesn't have enough oomph to get over there to the 7-pin, a little bit light. But as you said, we did see that hit a lot this week. So, you know, just, hey, go pick it up, go on to the next round.
And she listens to you.
Come on, ladies, keep going.
Now, neither player on a string of strikes, but I need to mention, if any of them would have struck, we do have a bonus this year for all of our tournaments, $50,000 by MasterCard for any 300 on television. But nobody's going to get it tonight, maybe next week. Ooh, and again, out of trouble on a high shot. She's looking puzzled.
I think her coach might be a little bit puzzled too.
Well, I think I just heard him say she needs to be a little bit more aggressive.
It's early in the match. You know, she did start out the match, last match this way also, so she's got to calm down a little bit.
She grabbed her spare, and here she told us about her game changes.
One of my weaknesses in my game was that I needed to get the ball to read the lane sooner. So what I did to do that was I shortened up my first step, moved up on the approach, looked a little bit closer, not at the arrows on the lane, and my ball reads the lane a little bit sooner, and it rolls a little bit earlier. So I'm getting better pin carry this week and was more consistent. So hopefully it'll continue on the show.
Worked in the second match. She now trails by 1, but again, maybe rolling a little too early now, coming up high again, leaving the 4-pin. Looking at Jim Callahan to see if he'll mention what he thinks she should do.
Right, she definitely does get the ball rolling early here. Look how high it is on the head pin. Leaves the 4-pin. It's just one of those shots where you know you're going to leave the 4-pin. It's kind of an irritating shot, Jan. You leave a 10-pin or a 4-pin, you know you're just that close to getting a strike, but you got 9 spare anyway.
Try to be aggressive all the way through.
3 9s to start for Lisa Bishop. Wendy Macpherson up in the 3rd frame. Strike spare. And as I mentioned, very happy to be on this show. She wasn't pleased at the end of last year. There's a beautiful shot. Has to be pleased with that. trying to keep you updated on our Bowler of the Decade race. There are the number of majors each of these players has had in this decade. In the 90s, Tish, Alita, Anne-Marie Dugan, 3 apiece.
Kim Adler with 2. Giannotti Block and McPherson, roommates by the way, both have 1. And Ann Barrett looking for that first one. She said that is definitely one of her goals this year.
Wendy Macpherson can increase her lead to 12, but the 10 pin's not going down. Leads by 2 pins if she converts this spare.
Look at that, 233 average on the television pair. The scores this week were pretty high. The carry was good for the most part. You definitely are going to leave that 10 pin, that 4 pin here and there, but you could get to the pocket very consistently, so that made the averages pretty high.
Covers the spare, and her average actually for the whole week was 232, so she had a tremendous average. And obviously a little better carry than a lot of the other players. Lisa Bishop in her 4th career TV appearance. 229 career TV average. That's a good average. She looked like she was a little bit deeper on that shot. Do you think she made a move?
Yes, I do. I think she was a little bit firmer also. She threw the ball a little bit harder that time. Jim Callahan did tell her at the end of last frame, stay more aggressive. So I definitely think she listened right there.
And again, taking her time and being very careful on her spares. No problem with that 10 pin. The rest of the finishers this week in 6th position, Liz Johnson. Really tough breaks in that last game of match play last night. Leanne Barrett, last week's champion, is in 7th, and Jennifer Swanson made a run at this show, finishing up 8th.
One of only 2 southpaws in the finals this week, Dee Dee Davidson. 2 strong players, Anne-Marie Dugan and Carol Norman.
Cindy Coburn Carroll now holding down 2 careers, a bowler and a full-time mom to Haley. Tiffany Stambrow, the rookie who shot the 300.
She was also the leader after 18 games qualifying this week.
4 pin for Lisa Bishop. That has to be tough to come out as a rookie and be the leader after 18 games.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you would have seen her hand after qualifying, I don't know how she got through 24 games of match play, Jan.
Pretty tore up.
It was raw. She had tape on it. She had every possible thing you could imagine that's made in the bowling world. Just didn't help her.
And again, converting the spare, 5 straight 9 counts for Lisa Bishop. Jim Callahan looks on. Hey, what more can she do? She's hitting the pocket. Wendy Macpherson is on track to capture this title, but we'll see if she rides it out at Junction Lanes when we come back. We're back at the Choo Choo Classic. While we were gone, there was a lead change. Wendy Macpherson Papanos was leading by 4 when we left. She now trails by 10 by virtue of a split in the 5th frame. She left a 10 pin and spared in the 6th, and now leaving a 4 pin.
And here in the 7th has come up high once again on the lane that she did leave the split on before. So they possibly could be hooking a little bit more, or she may need to get a little bit more aggressive.
She covers the spare, and Wendy talked to us earlier about a decision she had to make at the end of last year.
Last fall was just awful for me, and at the end of November I decided either I was going to quit until I was 100% able to, in my mind, win. And so in December I started working real hard on my drift and arm swing, and so I put 2 months into it, and I'm really pleased with the results.
She should be pleased with these results.
Number 1 this week, and going into the last game, I would say she should be pleased.
Well, leaving a 10 pin there, just not carrying like she did all week. Lisa, a lot of the players this week had help with some chiropractic care.
Actually, Jan, the doctor here this week worked on me today, and I had some problems. I actually had to withdraw this week due to some sciatic nerve problems. Dr. Daniel and Catherine Shields. We want to thank them. They donated their services this week to all the players.
As Wendy covers the 10 pin, and Lisa Bishop is up in the 8th frame. She now leads by 12 pins. been a little bit of a stretch for television for this lady, too. It was the Queens of last year, which would have been somewhere around May of last year. Big shot in the 9th frame. Big setup strike for Lisa Bishop. There's a look at David LaGuardia, president of OutMed LLC. They are the parent company of Junction Lanes Family Entertainment Center.
He was here quite a bit of the week enjoying the action. Looks like he's enjoying himself tonight. Very close match. Lisa Bishop only up by 12 pins.
Maximum score for her, 226. She can go up by 22 with a strike here in the 9th. Huge shot.
Now watch this aggressive shot. Stays down at the foul line. Look, she gets a good extension through the shot right there. Puts the 5 into the 7. All the pins going to the left. Takes a pretty good lead, 22 pin lead with that shot.
And Wendy's still fighting back, striking in the 9th frame to set up at least a chance for herself. She can strike out for 204.
Well, Wendy knows the story right here. Wendy's a very calm player. You're not going to see her get too flustered. You're not going to see her get over emotional at any point, whether she's winning or losing. So right now she's thinking, let's take my time, let's make good shots, as Lisa Bishop is thinking the same thing.
Wendy's re-racking right now. What do you think? You think she's trying to make Lisa think about it?
I don't know if she's doing a psych job or if she's taking possibly the time for herself. You know, it can work both ways, Jan. Hey, I've seen players do both. I've actually done it myself. I've re-racked to take a little bit of time here and there.
Have you?
Oh,
Yeah.
I admit it. It worked.
Big shot for Wendy Macpherson Papano. She can strike out for 204. Lisa Bishop would have to get good count, 9 spare strike for 205.
Big shot here
These
for Wendy
shots.
Macpherson.
Here's the match all week, all that bowling right here. Another beauty.
See Wendy give that a little sideways glance going, don't you dare stand up. She just pounds this right in the pocket. Watch, 10 pins going right to the back. Couldn't throw it any better than that, especially when it counts.
Well, and this shot is just as important. She really needs to get all 10. Big finish by Wendy Macpherson Papanos, and the situation is this. Lisa Bishop needs to get at least 9 on this ball. 9 spare strike, she's a winner. 8 spare strike, we could have a tie. Anything less than 8 on this ball, and it's Wendy Macpherson Papanos' title.
Right, and this is where Lisa Bishop needs to take her time. This is where that problem in her game that she's been working on comes into effect right now.
It looks good. And that's it. Lisa Bishop captures the Choo Classic, and it's her 2nd title of her career. Stay with us. We'll be back while she gets all the goodies. The championship round finals of the Choo Classic are being brought to you by AMF Bowling Worldwide, the largest owner and operator of bowling centers in the world, and one of the leading makers of bowling products. AMF always means fun. And by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Congratulations to Lisa Bishop, champion of the Choo Classic. Final score 215 to 204. To her left, Larry DeMoz of Junction Lanes, and to her right, Ryan Huber of OutMed LLC. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt saying so long from Junction Lanes. Stay on track. Tune in next Tuesday, March 2nd for the Greater Jacksonville Classic from Jacks Lanes West in Jacksonville, Florida. Action begins at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide